but there's no way. I'm telling you, Canelo is very skillful. He's strong. Yeah, of course, everything changes as we go. Wear and tear, years, we get older. But still, up to this point, Canelo at this point, he'll still be Crawford, no problem.
So pretty much saying it's a cash out for Terence Crawford.
Yeah, they're just trying to catch him out.
Respect for chasing greatness.
Respect for chasing greatness. He's gonna make a lot of money. He deserves it because he's been at the top of the game for many years.
Yeah. And another fight, Coach Diaz, you have a little bit insight in, was the Bivol Beterbiev match earlier in 2024. Another contested fight. I think it feels like it's divided boxing fans. Some people say Beterbiev won, others feel Bivol won. Who do you think won that fight in your opinion?
I was watching the fight, and I saw some very controversial rounds in the later rounds. But I can tell you this: I've had Bivol, because we were watching the fight and we're focusing on it because we knew it was a tough fight, and everybody knows that Beterbiev is very strong and he can hurt you with any punch. But up to the seventh round, I had Bivol winning the fight with his moves. He was moving really well on his feet. He was countering. Of course, he was getting hit because it's the fight. But he will get hit with 1-2 or maybe a hook and a right, and he will come back with a 1, 2, 3, 4, boom again. And then he'll move and boom, boom, jabbing. He was busier with his jab. He was busier with his counters. He would block and counter every time. Beterbiev will throw a combination, and right away, Bivol will retaliate with a counter with more volume. So, in the later rounds, obviously, Bivol, had a really strong fighter coming forward at him. He sort of slowed down. He got tired. Maybe three rounds, maybe 4 rounds. And if I had to judge the fight, I saw it for Bivol, not because he's part of my team in a way, because all these fighters are the same team, same management, and considered part of the same team. But I saw the fight. I gave Bivol at least 7 rounds, 8, 8 rounds. I gave to Bivol, honestly.
So worst case,
I saw him win. Worst case, 7 rounds. But I gave him 7 rounds.
Do you feel like there has to be more scrutiny on the type of judges? Because
definitely,
it doesn't matter what people see; it's what those 3 people see. And sometimes you have judges that favor the pressure, and then there's others that favor the boxers. Do you feel?
Not only that, there are judges that focus more on the later rounds. They really don't do much. They don't focus much on the early rounds, only on the later rounds. And the later rounds, obviously, he was more successful. Beterbiev was successful. You can see the pressure, and Bivol slowed down a little bit. But what happens to all the first half of the fight? We have a first and a second. We go from 1 to 6, then we go 6 to 12. But around there, you're supposed to know. And don't forget about the early rounds. These guys accumulate rounds by doing great work and putting some really good punches, combinations, and a lot of good technique in early rounds.
People forget those first 3 rounds.
People forget about the first round.
They're the same as the championship rounds, right?
Yes.
If you scored it down them. Obviously, they have that rematch coming up on that same card with Beterbiev on the 22nd. Do you expect Bivol to do something different? Obviously, his boxing is always going to be there, but do you see him?
Obviously, there has to be adjustments. I mean, after every fight, especially when there's rematches, you have to go back and see and analyze what did I do wrong. Even if you did everything you thought you did was right, you still have to make adjustments to perform better and for a better outcome. Right?
In your opinion, what can he do better? Obviously, we know that he's got that what you mentioned, the clean boxing, the accurate punching, the combinations. Well, what can he do to slow down?
What can he do better? He needs to slow his feet. I mean, keep his footwork, but moving around the ring so much, try not to. I mean, I'm a Mexican. I'm a Mexican trainer, and I focus a lot of Mexican style fighting. I can see a lot of things that Bivol can do. Hit, because we know that we have a strong fighter in front of me. Throw combinations, hit, and when he's about to start unloading on me, just close the gap, get inside, close, and don't let him unload. Instead of moving back, because you got the momentum moving, he's moving after you. So he's throwing punches. But if you just step in, close the gap, stop the action, you can work. And when he's about to work, close the gap and don't let him work. Smother him a little bit. Don't try to just be moving and get tired because he's always going to be chasing you. Hey, once in a while you have to unload on him and close the gap so he don't throw punches. Sometimes you give him the distance to throw, he's going to be throwing. But if you close the gap, he'll stop throwing. You know?